Welcome back, students. Master Spleen in the building. So I do really hope you enjoy your Incense Day, that you enjoyed the last event that took place last week with Probo Pass at the center of all the attention. Now it's time to move on to the next event, that will be the Charge Up event. And my friends, be super hyped, because this is going to be the first time that an electric type event is coming to Pokemon Go. So electric type is one of my favorite type in the game, so I'm really looking forward to this event. This event will take place from the 16th until the 22nd of March, starting at 10 a.m. your local time until 8 p.m. your local time. So you can find just down here an infography that was made by a Silph, highlighting the mons that will be available in raids, the mons that will be spawning more frequently into the wild, that will be hatching from 5km eggs. Please note as well that it's going to be the first, the introduction of Manectric, Mega Manectric, as well as the first release of Tinamo, the fish. Unfortunately, given his moveset, this mon is not going to be super relevant for a PvP. That's a pain, because I know a lot of you really do like this mon. So that's the difficulty of the game, trying to integrate those kind of special capacities that the mons could have, for example. Let's focus in today's video in the most relevant mons that you could find during this event, and as a consequence the most relevant electric type Pokemons in the game right now for PvP. The first one we are going to cover is Electrode. So Electrode is a mon that you will use with Volt Switch, Discharge, Foul Play. As you can remember, it had a lot of plays in like restricted formats, for example the Love Cup, the Halloween Cup. Given the this eye generating Volt Switch and those kind of versatile moves with Discharge and with Foul Play, that could hurt the AWAC, for example. So Electrode was like really one of the best safe switch you could have in those restricted formats, because you just gave him one Volt Switch advantage and he can flip a lot of matchup. So when it comes to the Great League, you should look for a 1-15-15 for Electrode, level 27. And as you can see, when we consider the, let's say, the open Great League meta, his numbers are less exciting than those when we are talking about restricted formats. Here we have like 3 matchups I would like to highlight. The first one is Frostlass, where you need to have a very good PvP IV one, and then you have Hypno and Shadow Hypno, and Shadow Victreebel, that are both IV dependent matchups. Shadow Victreebel is a bit tricky, because basically you need to reach an attack breakpoint with your Electrode if you are facing a high stat product Shadow Vic, and on the other side you need to reach a defense bulk point if you are facing let's say a non-optimal Shadow Victreebel. For the Shadow Hypno, basically if your opponent is running a very good PvP IV Shadow Hypno, the Shadow Hypno will flip the matchup. So Electrode for the Great League could be a spice pick to bring in the ultra in the current meta, but let's say that I think that his place is more in restricted formats. The next mon is, in my opinion, the king of electric types, and it's Galvantula. So here Galvantula with a rating of 5, because I do believe it's a must-have. If you are doing PvP, if you are doing competitive PvP, you really need Galvantula in your roster, and even you will need several Galvantulas, and I will explain a bit later why. So Galvantula, Volt Switch with Discharge and with Lunge, Lunge being able to debuff your opponent's attacks. It's always a nice move to use, and each time Galvantula is available in the Silph Cups, it's part of the top meta mons, and now as well you can use it in the Ultra League, bringing it up to the level 50 or 51, and we are going to talk a bit about that. When we look at the Great League meta, and here you can see the number of wins that Galvantula is able to pick. This is huge. Just quick focus on those matchups that are marked up as IV dependent, because if we take Frostlass, basically Frostlass, Hypno, if they are high stat products, they are able to flip the matchup against, let's say, the Hypno is able to flip the matchup. When it comes to Frostlass, the high stat product Frostlass is able to beat a high stat product Galvantula. So here, that's one of the first matchup where maybe you should run a non-optimal Galvantula. This will allow you to pick as well Shadow Machamp, Venusaur, Zvairless, to be sure to pick them, because in some scenarios, let's say that the rank 1 is sometimes unable to pick those matchups. Then just keep in mind that Sableye XL and high stat product Scrafty, so a very good PvP IV Scrafty, are able as well to flip those matchups. And when it comes to, for example, to Air Slash Tropius, you need the bulky one if you want to flip the matchup. So yeah, really, I will advise you to really check, depending on your team comp and the coverage you need, which is the best IV spread for your Galvantula. And that's why most of the top players, they have like several Galvantulas. There is, for example, one famous matchup that is the Blaziken against Galvantula, where if you have an attack weighted Galvantula, you flip the matchup because you will win CMP tie and therefore you KO the Blaziken. So you really dig a bit into PvPoke to really find the best IV combination for your team. When it comes to the Ultra League, and I'm expecting to see a lot of Galvantula this season, when Ultra League is coming back tonight for Europeans, or this morning for US player, or tomorrow for the people that are on the other side of the globe. Really good mon here. Best PvP IV is the 13, 15, 15 at level 51, or you could go with the 15, 15, 15 at level 50. That will really max out close to the 2500 CP. Here in Ultra League, several IV dependent matchups. Basically, they are matchups where if your opponent has a very good PvP IV mon, he is going to be able to flip the matchup. Those matchups are Shadow Obamasno, Articuno, Dragonite, Gallade, Lapras, and XL Toxic Rogue. So those mons, if your opponent is running a very good PvP IV, he will be able to flip the matchup. So keep that in mind. As well, keep in mind that depending on the moveset of Charizard, you can pick the Charizard matchup. Obviously, if the Charizard is running Fire Spin, you are in trouble. But if he's running Dragon Breath, then you have a chance to pick this matchup. Next mon is going to be as well, let's say, one of those specialists when it comes to restricted format, and it's going to be a Lowland Graveler. We covered the Lowland Graveler already, but you have here the infography just here with the different matchups that Lowland Graveler is picking up. I remind you that, in my opinion, it's really important to have a very good PvP IV for a Lowland Graveler, especially because you are able to pick the Wigglytuff matchup. And as we saw during the Love Cup or during the Halloween Cup, this is huge to be able to just by baiting with Rock Blast and landing the Stone Age to pick the Charmers. It's always a very nice win. If you want more information about Lowland Graveler, I advise you to just look into this video that we did just last week in the pin. I will pin it just right here, and you will have a bit more insight. Same with Magnezone, that we covered a lot last week. Here you have as well the infography in case you want to pause, in case you wanna take notes and stuff like that. But if you do want more information, we just covered that last week. Next month it's going to be a Lowland Raichu. Here again, just like Galvantula, this is as well a mon that now has some play in Neutral League, and I do believe that it could be a very interesting mon in Neutral League, given his typing, Psychic and Electric, allowing, for example, to resist fighting moves, to resist. So that's really interesting, to resist grass move, obviously, because it's electric, but really interesting mon. And having access to the wild charge nuke, my friends, there are not a lot of mons in the Ultra League meta that are able to tank a wild charge from a Lowland Raichu. So this is the mon you will use in the Great League. At least you will use it with Volt Switch, Grass Knot, Wild Charge. I mean, you do need Wild Charge. And then for the second move, it's a bit up to you. You could use Thunder Punch, you could use Psychic. I mean, it's really, what do you want as a coverage? Do you want to use it in the lead and burn shields? Do you want to use it as a closer? So it's a bit adapt the moveset to your playstyle. A Lowland Raichu in the Great League, ideally you will look for a 1-15-15. Obviously, that's a bit harsh to have such a mon, because a Lowland Raichu is only available in raids, so you need to trade it, try to find someone with a low friendship, and try to exchange a lot of Raichu mirror trades, for example, to try to look for a good PvP IV one. Matchups here I would like to talk about first the Registeel, where you do need to have a very good, let's say, a very good PvP IV if you want to pick this matchup to survive the flash cannon from the Registeel. At the same time, keep in mind that let's say that there are two IV dependent matchups. First one is Hypno, second one is Medicham, and a very good Hypno is able to flip the matchup, landing the Shadow Ball, and the Medicham, if it's an XL Medicham, same, the XL Medicham will be able to flip this matchup. Why? Just because they survive the nuke and they can throw you the move at you that's just going to KO you. When it comes to the Ultra League, and I really do believe that that's where a Lowland Raichu could shine. So really farm that XL Pikachu candy. Pikachu is going to be, I'm pretty sure, a lot common during this week, so it's going to be a great opportunity for you to stack on those candies. And here, as you can see, the list is pretty impressive here from a Lowland Raichu. You have, let's say, two IV dependent matchups here. First one is going to be Clefable, where an XL Clefable is able to flip the matchup, and the second one, it's the Dragonite. So here, basically, if your opponent is running what I call a non-optimal Dragonite, let's say, for example, a 5-8-11 or something like that, let's say that if the Dragonite reaches an attack breakpoint, is going to be able to flip this matchup and to take the win home. Next month it's going to be Stunfisk. here again, super excited to see to be able to have again Stunfisk into the wild. It has been, I think, almost 1 year or even more than 1 year without seeing Stunfisk in the wild, except for, let's say, small windows. So for those who are still looking for a good PvP IV, that could be a great opportunity, really, for you. Stunfisk, let's say, it was such a cool mod, and then they introduced the Galarian version, and now, let's say, it's a bit everyone prefers the Galarian Stunfisk rather than the U-Fisk, but the U-Fisk is very good, very bulky, just like the Galarian version, and having access to a move that, in my opinion, a move pool that, in my opinion, is lacking a bit of a nuke to really shine, but that is super versatile. Ideally, you will use it with Thundershock, Discharge, and Mud Bomb, but you could go as well with Mud Shot. That's the way, let's say, that's a bit your choice. For GBL, I will go with Thundershock, and then for Silph Cups, that's a bit up to you. If you are expecting a lot of mirrors, for example, with Stunfisk, this is nice to have Mud Shot because you will pick up the mirror. If you are not expecting and you are facing a lot of flyers, then it's a bit better to have Thundershock. When it comes to the Great League, you should look for a 0, 12, 15, and as you can see, clearly Stunfisk is a nice mon, but is not as impressive as his Galarian cousin. Try to look for a good PvP IV if you want to pick up the Wigglytuff matchup, and when it comes to let's say to those two IV dependent matchups, Hypno, basically Hypno, if your opponent is running a very good IV Hypno, it's going to be able to flip the matchup. That will remind you, I will just remind you that I was saying that a lot of times, so really grind a good PvP IV Hypno. And the second one is Machamp. So basically here it depends if the opponent is reaching an attack breakpoint on your Machamp. So if this is the case, then the Machamp is going to take the win. Now that we can bring up the monster level 50, why not Stunfisk in the Ultra League? So here again, I do believe it's better to go with the Galarian Stunfisk, but it's quite interesting, frankly, to see that the Stunfisk, when it reaches its maximum potential, is a nice pick to have, and that could be interesting to play, maybe more for Ultra Premier Cup, because you are still struggling against Giratinas and Crest that you do not pick, for example. But here, as you can see, you have some nice wind, Charizard and Pharos, the Charmers, you pick up some Steel types, Galvantula, Gengar, Scar, Machamp and Shadow Machamp, Alolan Muk. So do believe it could be interesting. Obviously, given how complicated it is to grab those XL candies for the Galarian Stunfisk, I'm not expecting people to invest as well in Stunfisk, but in the future it might be interesting to have a U-Fisk as well in the Ultra League. And last but not least, we have Zeb Striker. So this month you are going to use it with Spark, with Flame Charge that will boost your attack, and Wild Charge. So this is a very fun mon to play. It could be a really interesting surprise in some Silph Cups, in some restricted formats, in Great and in Ultra League. And I do believe that not a lot of people have talked about Zeb Striker in Ultra League, but it can be very, very interesting. So that's going to be a great opportunity to grab some XL candies for Zeb Striker. So when it comes to the Great League, so in the Great League, you have some matchups here, Clefable and Alolan Marowak you will need to have a very good IV Zeb Striker to pick up the matchup. Same with Wigglytuff, whereas you will need to reach some attack breakpoint if you want to pick up the Medicham matchup. When it comes to Bastiodont, just keep in mind that an XL Bastiodont is able to flip this matchup. So I'm not expecting to see that much XL Bastiodont, but keep that in mind in that case. And for the Ultra League, and I'm really hype, and I do believe that we will see a lot of electric types between Galvantula, Zeb Striker and the Lowland Raichu this time in Ultra League. So here, as you can see, it might be, and take that, and I do advise you to really run your own sims to really find the best IV combination. But the best PvP IV is the 0-13-15 at level 48.5. But I do believe that you do not want an optimal one. It's a bit like just a Bomb Snow, and that it might be better to power up Ando or something that is close to an Ando up to 2500 in order to pick up some really nice interesting matchups. Those matchups being Toxicroak, Galvantula, Gallade and Shadow Gallade. So here, really, before putting your resources, just try to be sure that your Zeb Striker will be able to pick those matchups, and then you're good to go. To sum up, what's going to be your main priorities for this event? First one, you should find a good Galvantula. If you don't have one, really try to find several IV spreads that are interesting for PvP. 7-15-15, 0-15-15, 10-15-15. I don't know, but really try to have several interesting IV spreads and try to farm XL if you want to build a Galvantula for Ultra League. Next tip is really to use those Stunfisk that are going to spawn quite frequently in the wild to farm XL Stunfisk candies. That's going to be huge. Currently, the only way to farm XL candies, you have like hatching 7 kilometer eggs. With the fact that Stunfisk is not super common in those eggs, you have the Stunfisk encounter from GBL, but same, it's a bit random. And you have trading with let's say with now the XL candies from trading, but it is super rare and it's super difficult to really farm those XL candies. So really go out there and try to grind and try to trade maybe those Stunfisk with Pokemons that were caught more than 100 kilometers away. That's really one of the top priorities of this week. And the last priority, in my opinion, is really to find a good Zeb Striker and to try to farm some XL candies. So I really do hope you liked this content. Don't forget to like, to subscribe and to comment. And I really see you soon, student. Bye.